start. So welcome everyone to another MS Excel Toronto Meetup group session. We are in March, one quarter down for the year of 2024. It goes by fast. And so welcome everyone. It's a joy to have you here. I know there's a couple of people joining for the first time. I will explain very briefly how the Meetup group works. We have been doing this session since 2019, currently on a monthly basis. So every month we have a different topic, a different presenter, always about Excel, somehow related to Excel. And this is a space for us to meet, to share, to connect. There's always a parallel conversation going on in the chat. Feel free to say hello there, say where you are watching us from. And in a few days, we will upload the video to our YouTube channel. I will show you what the YouTube channel is. And I will also send out an email saying, here's the link for the video recording. Here's the link for any files that the presenter may share with us, if there are any files or any other type of information. And I always add a few more items to that email, what the next session is, and if there is anything going on relevant related to books, learning resources, events, I will put that on the email so that you can, you can have that information. That's the point of this meetup, is to share with you what's going on in the Excel world. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Celia Alves. I have been working as an Excel consultant for a couple of years. Recently, I started to work on a full-time job as a senior business analyst. And with me, Grania Duggan, she became a member of this meetup group since session 1. And since then, she never missed one session, or if it missed, it would be very few. And she has been doing a great job supporting the group. One of the things that she always does is to write the timestamps for the YouTube videos. So if you need to go back to a session, it's easier for you to find a particular topic because Grania puts in the effort and the time to write those chapters for us. So welcome. Did I say, yeah, I've been working I did. And I'm also a Microsoft Excel MVP. In fact, I just came last week. We had the MVP Summit where people who are awarded MVPs have the chance to meet with Microsoft engineers, in this case, the product managers for Excel, to learn about what they are planning, what they are doing, what's coming next, and to give our input about those new features. So it's always exciting to see what's going on behind the scenes and what's coming next, but I cannot share them with you until we have permission when things are becoming generally available. Okay, so today we have Mohammad.
Excuse me, Celia, you missed one.
I missed one.
Women in Excel.
Yeah, we will get there. I'm just saying, we will have Mohammad El Medawar with us. I will present him in just a bit after I go through a couple of slides here. Let's see. So our session is being recorded. Be mindful of that. If you don't consent to be part of the recording, you need to drop the session, and then you can watch later on our YouTube channel. This is our YouTube channel. It will be available as well in the documentation when we send out that email. Our next session will be on April 17th. Building interactive dashboards in Microsoft 365 Excel. Michael Olafuzi, he is a Microsoft Excel MVP as well. And he just launched a book about how to build interactive dashboards with Excel, particularly the most recent version, the version for the Microsoft 365 subscription that has a lot of different functionality that other older versions do not have, that make our work much easier when we want to build an interactive dashboard. So come along with us. It's posted. You can register already for that session if you are interested. This is a post, a list of other meetup groups about Excel. Some are also about Power BI. Feel free to take a print screen and see if there is anything else going on that could interest you, depending on what you are interested in learning at the moment. We are close to the end of the month, 2/3 of the month. There's still a few sessions happening, 2 more sessions happening after today's session. And feel free to follow for us. He always publishes these on LinkedIn. I have a newsletter that I send out every month with the aggregation of what was available, what is available new or improved in Excel. And again, I also throw in some information about Excel events, new books, and other resources that you might be interested in. So if you are interested in keeping up with the news, feel free to subscribe to that newsletter. Of course, it's totally free. This deck of slides will be available for you. So all the links that you see here, you will be able to explore them later. Our YouTube channel and my YouTube channel that has been quite abandoned in the past few months because of my full-time job. I haven't had much opportunity to post new videos, but there's a lot of not a lot of great content there about Power Query, a little bit about VBA, but mostly Power Query and how to automate your processes, your procedures in Excel. There's my blog too there. I have a training program where I explain my techniques of how I put together the different tools available in Excel to automate a recurring Excel procedure from beginning to end. Feel free to explore that as well. There's a free plan where you have access to some of the lessons. There's the link. A link is there and the QR code if you want to explore. More than welcome to. And I'm talking before I present our presenter. Grania also wants to share with you. Oh, and before that, I also want to mention I did not ended up not receiving detailed information, but there's a new event happening, an Excel conference happening in April in Bulgaria. So if you are interested in maybe consider participating in that, it's in April. Excel Days. If you Google by Excel Days, you should be able to find that information. If I get the information on time before I send you the email, I will include that there as well. Grania, you wanted to talk about a new group available as well.
Well, hi. The Global Excel Summit for 2024 in London was so good. And we had a conversation, Catherine Mondragon, Samantha, Pete Talroth, and myself, and a few other people that were in one of the networking rooms. And we just noticed that there were a lot of women participating in the event, but not that many, comparatively speaking, presenting in the event. So we wanted to do what we could to see about helping women feel more confident in the Excel world to share their knowledge or ask for help or whatever it is they needed. So we started a LinkedIn group called Women in Excel. I'll post a link to it in the chat. And so what we're saying is the purpose of the group is to help women in Excel network, learn about each other, have conversations, and feel less isolated and be encouraged to encourage each other so that each of us can grow in our chosen path. But you don't have to be an expert to join, just anybody. So whether you're starting at a beginner and you're already an MVP, doesn't matter. Just we're very welcome to have everyone. So this group is open to people who identify as women, and we ask you to, if you're interested, to please join this community and be part of it. So I'll put a link in the chat just now, and that's all I need to say.
Okay, great. Yes, it's been a very engaged group to be part of, and
Yes, it
so I
has.
encourage you to to be part of it. Okay, enough talking because we are here to learn from Mohammed. I will read his bio and then I'll tell you a little bit more about one of his projects that I just recently got acquainted with. So Mohammad El Medawar, Medawar, sorry if I'm mispronouncing. He's a distinguished Microsoft certified trainer, holds the highest level of certification in Microsoft Excel awarded by Microsoft. He is the creative force behind the pioneering Microsoft Excel simulator. This is an interactive step-by-step tutorial platform that stands as being the first of its kind, offering a full practical learning experience. That's what Mohammed will be showing us today. Over the past 14 years, El Medawar has conducted Excel training sessions across the Middle East and North America, including the United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, Oman, Qatar, Egypt, Lebanon, and Turkey. He has trained over 5,000 individuals and led more than 500 data analysis training courses. Helmedawar's unique training methodology is designed to elevate participants from novices to advanced Excel users within a span of just 5 days, ensuring a comprehensive and transformative learning journey. So recently, Mohammed just reached out on LinkedIn, and I got the honor and the pleasure of learning about his project. I was not aware of it. His platform that was built using AI that people can use to learn Excel. Besides that, I was very intrigued with his passion to insight to encourage people to learn Excel and then use their skills to become trainers, become consultants, and earn money with their Excel skills. So I'm pleased to present to you all here today. Mohammed, thank you for joining us. Feel free to fill in any blanks that I may have not mentioned, and then the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Celia. Actually, you said everything. There's nothing to fill. Thank you so much again. Hello, everyone. I'm very happy and I'm very excited to be here and to present my Microsoft Excel simulator. Let me share my screen. Let me do a very quick presentation, and then I'll show you the simulator. Okay. So before I start my session, I have a bold promise for you. I will show you exactly, step by step, how I made more than half of millions of dollars just using Microsoft Excel. And if you stick with me until the very end, I'll show you this one in a very step-by-step way, and I'll tell you what's the website that I use even and what are my strategies. But before I continue, I need to hear from you in the chat. How do you learn Microsoft Excel? Like, for example, now I'm a beginner in Microsoft Excel and I want to learn Microsoft Excel. What are the various ways? So let me hear from you first in the comments, please. So what's your favorite way? Is it by reading books? Is it by attending real sessions, face-to-face sessions? Is it by watching webinars, for example? Is it by YouTube videos? So let me hear from you. Okay, so trial and error, of course, we've all been there. But actually, the problem of trial and error is sometimes we try, but we don't know what's the correct way of solving it. But I know LinkedIn Learning, okay, YouTube, okay, books, practice, YouTube. Excellent. I just
And
paid too much for 2 online courses with local college. Okay. Carol, I think after you will see my tool, you will regret paying a single penny for these ones. Okay. I'm very happy with all the answers that you have mentioned. So now let me tell you something.
oh,
People
there's
around the world.
ChatGPT as well. Sorry to
Yes,
interrupt you.
definitely. Yeah, yeah, no, of course. I'm very happy with the input. So people around the world, there are millions of people willing to pay money just to learn Microsoft Excel. And tell me, this is my job. I travel around the world, or actually just in the GCC area between Oman, Qatar, United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, only to deliver Microsoft Excel courses, but of course, in a very advanced level and in a very organized way. And as I promised you, at the end, I'll show you this exactly step by step. But just to go back to your question, how do we learn Microsoft Excel? So to learn Microsoft Excel, just like you have mentioned, we either have to attend face-to-face sessions or online training courses, or we watch tutorials. But actually, there is a problem in each of these ones. Let me go very quickly through the problems, and then I'll tell you what's the solution that I have provided. Let's talk about the first one first, which is the in-house training. What's the problem? First of all, maybe I don't have time to attend physically the training course. That's number one. Number two, I may have a lot of attendees and I don't have the willingness to ask questions, for example. I'm a bit shy, for example. I don't like to ask questions in front of people. And the third problem is probably they are very expensive to attend a face-to-face training course. Probably it's very expensive. So this is for in-house training courses. Now to go for online training courses, we have the same problems that are available before. And the last one is sometimes we get lost because the attendee or the trainer, maybe he's clicking the buttons, but I'm not really able to follow with him, especially during Corona times. If you remember, we used to watch on one session and I have to swap quickly between Microsoft Teams and Excel, between Teams and Excel, which may not be really practical. And the same thing I have if I'm watching tutorial videos. So let's see for all the people who said that we have LinkedIn Learning, YouTube videos, and all of these kind of videos. Let's see quickly what's the problem in these ones. First of all, it's the language barrier. So probably I'm not really good in the same language that they are talking. That's number one. Number two, to prepare the content, it's a bit difficult to record these videos. And the most important thing, and here where I want you to focus very well, guys, the not practical thing. Watching a video actually is not really practical. Let me prove it to you. Let's suppose now I need to learn Microsoft Excel, for example. Okay, so let's suppose this is a YouTube video and I have to control the speed, for example. So some people are speaking quickly, some people are speaking slowly, and this is not really convenient. But the most important part of it, which is the practicality or the willingness to pause the video. So here where I need you to listen to me very well. Let's suppose now I am learning a YouTube video. Okay, I'm learning Excel on a YouTube video. And this person is telling me to click on insert. What do I need to do? I need to pause my video. I need to minimize the screen. I need to click on insert, and then I have to minimize again, and then I have to play right? I'm very sure we've all been there. Just write to me in the chat, please, if you face the same issue. Pausing the video, minimizing the screen, going to Excel, clicking the button. Please write in the chat if you face the same problem, or raise your hand. Actually, yes, same that other people are doing. Unless you have two screens, of course, I agree, or have two monitors. Really, I feel if you have two monitors, it means you are an Excel guru because not all the people have two Excel screens. Three monitors, wow. Okay, excellent. So now it's time to tell you what's the solution that I've created. Just before I start, I need to tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Mohammad El Medawar. I've been delivering Microsoft Excel training courses for the past 14 years, and I delivered a lot of free training courses and, of course, paid training courses here in the GCC area. And I've reached a level where I perfected the delivery of the Microsoft Excel course because every year I deliver it more than 100 times. I keep on repeating it for different clients. Now, for example, I'm currently in Saudi Arabia delivering Microsoft Excel courses. Next week, I'm heading to United Arab Emirates to deliver also Microsoft Excel courses. So I noticed that there's a problem in the world, okay, which is, for example, the videos, pausing, minimizing, and so on. So one time I was looking at my screen and I saw a quote which says, tell me and I will forget. So if I only keep on talking, I will forget. Show me and I may remember. So if I'm watching a video, okay, probably I will learn, but this is not the perfect way of doing it. But involve me. Let me do it myself. Let me practice myself and I will understand. So this is why I said, wow, this is a great opportunity. I I found that there's something missing. And I said to myself, what if I invent something that is fully interactive, fully practical? I don't want to talk a lot. Let me go directly to my website. So this is my website, trainermohammed.com. And I'm going to show you just one lesson of the Microsoft Excel simulator that I have invented. So I will open try one lesson and I will play here. So here, if you can notice, Microsoft Excel opened in front of me. Okay, but the beautiful thing about it, this is not a video, this is a simulator. What do I mean by a simulator? So now wherever I press here, it will not work. Even on my keyboard, if I press any button, it will not press. So it is waiting for me until I take the correct action. So I need you to imagine that there's a person sitting next to me on my right, and he's telling me, Muhammad, now to learn, for example, conditional formatting in Microsoft Excel, first you have to click on cell B2. So as if there is a trainer, a teacher sitting next to me 24/7, guiding me step by step where I need to click. So I will never get lost at all. So here, for example, by the instructions are telling me to click on cell B2. Look at cell B2, how it's highlighted in red. So there is no way that you will get lost. As I told you, even if you press anywhere else, it will not press. So here I click on cell B2, and that's it. Now cell B2 is clicked. Now the computer told me that I have to select all my data. So look how the computer displayed a keyboard for me, but it removed all the buttons except the buttons that I need to click on, which are Control Shift arrow down. So on my keyboard, I have to press on Control Shift arrow down. If I don't press on Control Shift arrow down, I will not be able to proceed further. And by the way, even if I press them in a wrong way, like for example, if I press them in the wrong order, it will not work. I will not be able to proceed further. So from my keyboard, I will press Control, Shift, and arrow down. So now the computer selected my data. And then it told me, okay, now you need to go to conditional formatting. So I will put my mouse, and if you can notice even the real effect of Microsoft Excel, which is the same way whenever I hover the buttons, can you imagine the amount of details that are available in this simulator? So I will click on conditional formatting, highlight cells roots, for example, and greater than. For example, in this lesson, we are learning to highlight all the data that are greater than a certain number. So here, for example, the computer told me easier to learn by making us do the work. Exactly. So here you are directly applying on the simulator and you are learning it. So here, for example, the computer told me to type 5,000. So again, from the keyboard, it removed all the buttons. It kept only the buttons that I need to click on. So from here, I will type 5,000. And notice how whenever I press 5, directly it was inputted here. And here the computer placed it in bold. It means it's already done. And it told me underscore under the number that I need to click on. So 0, 0, 0. And at the end, I need to color it, for example, in green because it's above them. So from here, I will choose green. And then I will press on OK. And that's it. This is one lesson. I was able to learn one lesson in Microsoft Excel in a fully interactive, fully practical way without watching any single video, without pressing on the pause or play button, without minimizing my screen. So if you can notice, the learning time it's cut in half because I don't have to pause, minimize, and everything. That's number one. And the effect of learning, it is times two. Why times two? Because I'm clicking the buttons, so I'm learning times two. So it's much easier for me. So this is what I wanted to show you. Before we continue, I need you to tell me in the chat if you have seen something like this before. If you have seen something like this before, please tell me where it is. Please send me the link. No, 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 have not. Okay, perfect. Not really. So this is what I call the first of its kind Microsoft Excel simulator, because currently on the internet, there is not a single website that does exactly the same job of my Microsoft Excel simulator. Not only this, all the instructions that are at the bottom are spoken using artificial intelligence to make it more interactive and more enriching. No, but prefer to highlight the whole row. That's a different lesson. Okay, so if you prefer to highlight the whole row, that would be a different lesson. So now it's time for me to show you the whole lessons that are available. So this is my website, trainermohammed.com. you can enter my website and you can take the full course. It's completely for free. Why I made it completely for free? Number one, because this is a way to give back to the community. That's number one. Number two, I have a lot of people who tell me that, Muhammad, I don't have money to pay to learn Microsoft Excel, so I made it completely for free. And number three, because I want other people to start making money just like I did using Microsoft Excel. And trust me, guys, I know in your area, there are a lot of people who are willing to pay money on a professional level to learn Excel. Maybe not normal people. Maybe they are governmental entities. Maybe they are companies. And if you know, the companies, they already have a budget to pay every year for training courses. So they are willing to pay you a good amount of money just to teach Excel. So I don't understand what excuse you have until now not to learn Microsoft Excel in a very professional way using the simulator. So let me show you very quickly what are the lessons that are available. So once you go to my website and once you take the full course, you just log in using using Gmail, LinkedIn, whatever it is, and you enter the simulator. So from here on the right, there is something called course contents. You click on it and you get all the lessons that I created, 284 lessons that cover. I don't want to say everything in Excel because Excel is very vast, it's very huge, but I can guarantee you it covers 90% or 95% of things in Microsoft Excel. Just mention anything, data validation, conditional formatting, pivot tables, pivot charts, whatever you think of, even how to create dashboards, whatever it is, it's there in the simulator. So let me show you very quickly. So these are all the lessons that are available. And inside each lesson, you will find multiple lessons. Like, let me show you very quickly. So here, for example, the pivot table. Okay, so inside the pivot table, you can see only 32 lessons only for pivot tables. This is apart from the others, and they are all fully interactive and fully practical. So you can go through all these lessons, and at the end, you will get a certificate from my website. And on this certificate, there is a QR code. So whenever you put it on your CV or whenever you need to submit your CV to any company to tell them that I'm qualified to teach Microsoft Excel, they can scan the QR code and they can verify that this is a real certificate. One more thing I need to tell you, the beautiful thing about my Microsoft Excel simulator is that people cannot cheat like other tools. Like for example, if I'm watching videos on any other website, I can simply put play and leave the video for 30 minutes and then I come back and I can see that I finished, for example, 5, 6 lessons. But in my Microsoft Excel simulator, I am not able to proceed further unless I click on the correct button. So there is no way for someone to cheat or skip all the lessons unless I make sure that he finished all of the lessons. Okay, so this is in quick. Now I showed you the simulator. I showed you the tool. Now it's for you to ask me questions in case you have any, and I'm really willing to answer all of your questions.
Thank you. Thank you.
Unless someone is sitting next to me. Okay, I didn't get the idea. Even if someone is sitting next to you.
Bill wants to see conditional format an entire row.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Bill wants to see conditional format an entire row instead of just those cells.
Okay, so for selecting an entire row, this specific lesson is not available on this simulator because if you go to the conditional formatting, I will show you what are the things that are available. There are 21 lessons. They will show you the greater than, less than, between, equal to numbers. They cover everything. But for example, this specific one, it's not available because this is a very specific case. And not most of the people, they request this feature. But nevertheless, you can reach out to me and I can help you with it. Are you
Doug
still
is
creating?
asking, yeah, sorry, go
Yes, I'm
ahead.
seeing the questions. Are you still creating Excel content? For now, I'm currently only working on the current ones that I have, 284 lessons. They cover most of the things in Excel. I'm promoting more for my Excel simulator, and I'm waiting also for the Microsoft MVP result. They still didn't announce it yet, but maybe in the future, I can work on additional lessons that will cover more things in Excel. Does the simulator get regularly updated with the newest dynamic ranges? To be honest with you, not currently, because as I told you, I'm waiting for the result of the Microsoft MVP to give me this award. And from that moment, I will work on newer version. But currently, this is the newest version that is available. Power Query, it's a separate tool, I consider it. I know it's within Excel, but it's a separate tool. So this is why I didn't include it, because most of the people, they tell me, Muhammad, we need only Excel. So this is why only I focus on Excel. But hopefully in the future, I will be able to work on Power Query. By the way, guys, what you have seen took me around 11 months of daily work. So this is not something easy to do. I really appreciate that you are requesting for additional features, but I need you to take in mind that this is something really difficult to create. And also, if you can see the details inside it, the artificial intelligence in it, so this is not something really easy. Can you show a conditional formatting using a formula? As I told you, this one is not available. The ones that are available, which are the built-in ones, which is, for example, top 10, bottom 10, above average, the color scaling. You can see all the lessons here. The screen is already shared. The simulate no, as I said, Power Query, this is the separate tool I consider it, so this is why I didn't include it. MSFT solution is not straightforward. I didn't get it. How long does it take
Microsoft,
to do?
MSFT means Microsoft.
Yes, solution is not straight. Which solution exactly? Okay. How long does it take to do all the lessons? Actually, if you stick, for example, if you sit on your computer and you say, I need to finish them, probably they will not take you more than 5 to 6 hours, I think. Because the beautiful thing in these lessons that they are very straightforward and straight to the point. So there is not more uh, uh, like additional sentences that are not necessarily. So just for example, click on the lesson, click on the buttons, and that's it, with very straight to the point explanation. So I can guarantee you that you can finish it in one day. Not a question, but it is amazing that this is available for free. So much value. Trust me, guys, I have a lot of people who have finished the lesson, who got their certificates, who posted them on LinkedIn, and I already started helping them get training courses and get paid from Microsoft Excel. And I'm very sure you may ask me, Muhammad, why you don't take these courses? Because Alhamdulillah, I'm already fully booked most of my time, and I have selected clients who always request me by name. But of course, the market is very huge. And the beautiful thing about it that I'm only focused on the GCC and the Arabian market. So if you are attending the session from America or from Europe, this is a new market for you. So you can start from now. Good Power Query training is sort of lacking. Inshallah, in the future, I will add it. But trust me, this is not something that is very easy. So I'll try to hire additional team with me to help me.
Yeah, and I think that anyone starting with Excel, which seems to be the focus of this platform, would not start by Power Query, right? They need to have a better
Exactly.
understanding first of the tool overall. You don't need to know everything first to then go into Power Query. But these fundamental features that we need to know to build solutions. And I think the person that was mentioning build solutions, saying that it's not straightforward. I can't remember who it was, but feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. I believe the person is saying that when we want to build a solution, we need more than just knowing the different tools. But we still need to know those tools first. We need to learn the ABC in Excel, how to create a formula, how to use conditional formatting, how to create data validation. We need to know how to build a pivot table, all that. And once you have all the different building blocks, then not after everything is you know everything. This process starts from the beginning, from the moment you start learning each different feature and you have the opportunity to work with Excel to solve problems. You will start using what you already know. And maybe today you solve a problem one way because you know that way from what you've learned. But if you keep learning, in a month from today, you may come up with a totally different and much better solution to solve that very same problem that you solved a month ago, but with different features that you ended up learning after. And that's how it goes. And when you build a solution, if you look at a solution that you built 5 years ago or even less time, 1 year, 2 years ago, and you don't find yourself thinking, why did I do it like that? There was such a much more easier
Easier way.
way, yeah, and or a more beautiful way, a more elegant way to build this. If you don't
Mhm.
find yourself thinking that, it means that you have not evolved since then in terms of your Excel skills. So this is an ongoing process
Process.
and
And
a
by the way,
never-ending process.
there is something that I always tell to my trainees that whenever you perfect Microsoft Excel, I'm very sure that Power Query will be easy for you. So just go through the simulator, and you will feel that Power Query is very similar. And it's just if you go to a little bit on YouTube or read on the internet, you will find that it's quite similar. Let's continue. An API in AI API in Excel. I already tried to do the research. It's not straightforward as you may think of. So this is why I prefer to do a simulator that is separate from the real Excel. So you apply directly on the simulator. Uh, what else? We'll go to lesson stance, school tool. Look into the live sessions module. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your Excel with the rest of our pleasure. Really, I'm really passionate about Microsoft Excel, and trust me, there are millions of people willing to pay money for it. So this is a perfect tool for you. Start working on it. You can finish all the lessons in one day, and after you can start helping other people. General, okay, well, do you teach on specific Excel functions? Of course, there is new examples. Yes, in the simulator, there are functions like the sum, average, VLOOKUP. Even I go very deep in VLOOKUP. I give you different levels of VLOOKUP, the basic, the intermediate, the advanced ones. So I encourage you to go and see it. Do you teach nested functions? No, nested functions is a specific case in Excel, but once you understand the concept, it's the same thing. So I advise you to go to the simulator, learn the lessons of the functions, and then nested functions will be easy for you. This tool is outstanding. This is most impressive. Thank you so much. Okay, perfect. I believe these are all the questions. I answered all of them. So you already have my website, trainermohammed.com. I encourage you right now to go register. It's completely for free. Start your learning journey, and trust me, you can finish it in 1-2 days. And after that, you can perfect Microsoft Excel.
Okay. And so then how do you get people who started learning, have completed the training? How do you get them to go to the next level, to start to have them training other people?
Very good, excellent question. So number one, after they complete the simulator and get the certificate, they can go and do the real Microsoft Excel exam, because the simulator will guide you step by step as if you are doing the Microsoft Excel exam. That's number one.
For
Number two,
certification, right?
a certificate, yes, of course.
Is it the expert or the other one? It's the other
Uh,
one, the
the
initial
basic
one,
one.
the basic
The
one.
initial
Yeah.
one, because in the expert one, they added the macros and these things. In my simulator, I didn't include the
Yeah.
macros. But but still, you can still do the expert because it covers a lot of things in the simulator, pivot tables, pivot charts, and so on. So they can still attempt the expert one. And after that, you can start by marketing yourself, or you can reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'll send you the link in the chat. You can reach out to me, and I can add you to the group that I created. I have a WhatsApp group. I already showed it to Celia. I have around 500 people of it. I gathered the trainers and the training centers. And daily on the group, there are people who send messages on the group and they say, we are looking for Excel trainers, we are looking for Power BI trainers, we are looking for trainers in other fields. So just from this group, I was able to help other trainers generate hundreds of thousands of dollars. Because as I told you, the training market now in the GCC area is huge, especially now in Saudi Arabia. And I believe you can do the same. You can start your own community and you can start reaching out to companies and tell them, we can deliver training courses for you. We can show you how to do Microsoft Excel in a very professional way. So this is what differentiates us from the others.
How do you prepare someone, or how do you guide someone to be prepared to deliver a training in a structured way? How do they learn to choose what to teach and to put together a training outline to deliver?
Very good question. So this is why now I want to show you the picture that changed my life, literally.
Okay.
So let me share my screen. I need you please to look at this picture. So let me tell you what was the problem that I was facing before as Muhammad, and then how this picture changed my life. Before, I used to go to companies to deliver Microsoft Excel courses. And trust me, the courses were excellent. I used to get excellent feedback. But I noticed that there's something missing. What is missing? I go into the session. I tell the people, okay, let's open Microsoft Excel. Let's learn, for example, data validation. Let's learn conditional formatting. Let's learn pivot table. But after I noticed that there's no really correct or related sequence. And then I said to myself, in real life, in training sessions, not all the people are excellent. Not all the people are beginners. Not all the people are intermediate. So in the same training session, you may face people from different levels. So this is why I said I need to find a way in order to gather everything in Microsoft Excel in a very smooth way, as if it's a journey. So I went to the internet and I saw this picture and I looked at it and I said, wow, this is exactly what I was looking for. Let me tell you why. Because this is something called the data analysis process. A process you all know, it's a sort of steps. Like, for example, now if I need to travel, what's the process of traveling? I go to the airport, for example, I get my boarding pass, I stamp on the passport, and so on. So there is a certain process. There is a very clear process that I go into. So I started using this picture in my training courses, and trust me, it was very successful. Let me tell you exactly in real life how I do it in case someone wants to do exactly the same thing. So on my website, which is here, you have something called training. Okay, and by the way, this is the secret of my business. So you can take it, you can use it, you can apply it on any company, and trust me, it will generate you a lot of money. So you go to my website, you go to training, and from here there's something called Microsoft Excel. You press on it, it will download this file for you. Okay, if you can notice, it has 5 steps. These are exactly the same 5 steps that I'm using here. Okay, you're still able to hear me, right?
Yes, yes.
Yes, okay. So these 5 steps, they are exactly the same 5 steps that are available here. So number one, if you can notice, the attendees will not get lost because there is a very clear process. That's number one. And there is a strategy that we follow. What's the strategy? Number one, we start by defining the question. So it means we teach people how to ask the analytical questions. So if you can notice here, I already prepared a simple data set, and it will show us, for example, some real data or fake data, whatever it is, and we can start learning how to ask analytical questions. For example, how many customers I have, what's my total sale, in which period I had the highest amount of sales, and so on. And then I move to step number two. In step number 2, I focus on collecting the data. So here I teach people how to create a table and how to create data validation. And let me tell you one more secret that made me different from all the other trainers in the market. I have a strategy whenever I need to teach something. It's called the before, after, do it. What do I mean by this? Whenever someone is attending your course, why they are attending your course? They are attending your course because they need to change, they need to transform, they need to learn something new. So they have already something in their mind, but this something is wrong and you need to change it. Let me give you an example. Now, if I talk, for example, about a certain disease, maybe you will not be interested, but imagine that before I start talking about this disease, I tell you, okay, let's do a test. And I, after doing the test, I notice that 90% of you have this disease. So now if I start talking about this disease, you will be more attracted, you will be more interested. So the same thing in Microsoft Excel. You always start with the problem. You tell the attendees, for example, if I want to enter data, the salary, for example, if I enter -5, this is completely wrong. How I enter -5 as a salary? So I'm very sure someone will tell you, yes, right, I have the same problem in my work. We have wrong entries in my data. So this is before. And then you show them the after, you show them the end result. Just like, for example, you want to teach someone how to prepare a cake. So you cannot tell him, okay, I will teach you how to prepare an Oreo cake. You need to show him the picture and you need to tell him, this is the end result. This is where we need to reach. So this is the after. You tell him at the end, we will reach something like this. So here, for example, if I type -5, the computer will not accept. Okay, this is a very quick example. And then you go to do it and you start applying step by step how to create a table, how to create data validation and everything in order to create a simple platform to correctly enter your data. And then we go to step number 3. Step number 3 is cleaning the data. So here, if you can notice, I already prepared for you data that have already mistakes in it. Let me show you. For example, here, clean, trim, and capitalize. You can see that here Beirut is the same, but actually here there are spaces. If you can see here, for example, there is an enter. So I hid them in a certain way. So using these data, you can start teaching people, for example, on Power Query, how we can clean our data in Power Query or how we can clean data in Microsoft Excel. The same thing for splitting columns. You can teach people that we can do it from here, text to columns, or we can do it, for example, in Power Query. We can split the columns and you continue with the lessons. And after you're done with this one, you go to step number 4, analyzing the data. So here in analyzing, I prepared all the lessons that most of the people use to learn how to analyze the data. The pivot tables, the functions, the if condition, the lookup. So you cover everything in Excel. And then step number 5, you can see I prepared the lessons, which are the charts, pivot charts, conditional formatting, and so on. So if you can notice now, there's a very clear strategy that I follow. And this is what made me successful in my work among all the other trainers, because here in the market, there are hundreds of Excel trainers, and each one tells you, I'm perfect in Excel. But actually, companies need to know why you are different from the others. What's your strategy? So using these strategies, I can guarantee that anyone can move from beginner to an expert in Excel in only 5 training days. So this
So
is the strategy that I follow.
that's great. Thank you. I'm impressed. Very organized, and I have a tendency, and those who follow my content know that I have a tendency to wanting to explain everything to the very detail. But for those, I have learned over time that for those who are starting, it's not a good strategy. It's not a good approach because they will feel overwhelmed. So we need to be very to the point and explain the essential of each one of the features, each one of the formulas, or what is fundamental. And then we grow from there. Each person then will grow from there depending on their needs, depending on their job demands, depending on what we do with Excel each day. Each one of us will go a different direction, as long as we are interested in learning more and evolving. So you mentioned 5 days. How long does it take you usually to deliver that program of those 5 steps?
So usually I deliver it over 5 days and every day 5 hours from 9 until 3 o'clock. But of course, there is 1 hour break or, in real life. But for the people who want to learn it on my simulator, they can finish it in one day because they are directly applying on the system. But in real life, some people ask questions, some people come late, some people they need help. So this is why it takes much more time.
Yeah, that's great.
Thank you, Carlos. Let's connect on LinkedIn. Okay, any other questions?
So yeah, no questions so far. Let's do. Okay, Carlos. Thank you for joining, Carlos. He's a Microsoft MVP who joined as well.
Excellent.
Any other questions, any comments? Feel free to turn on your cameras and your microphones if you want to ask directly. It's easier than to type.
Fahim raised hand.
Yes. Thank you, Mohammed. It was really informative, and I really appreciate the effort and time that has gone into prepare this. I just wanted to know, like, how is your stimulation training different from the in-person training? Because I know there is a price for your in-person training, but how is that different?
Okay, so usually I use the simulator for after course learning. So let me give you an example. Now, usually, if you want to deliver a face-to-face training, we usually give people a PowerPoint presentation. Okay, but we already explained why PowerPoint is not interactive. So what made me special in the market here in the Arab area is that I tell the companies that after I deliver the face-to-face training courses, the people who want to go back to the material, they can access my simulator completely for free and go back to every lesson separately. But I know what you wanted to ask me. You may ask me, Muhammad, why they don't directly take the simulator? Because some people, not all the people have the same mentality. Some companies they already are willing to pay money to get someone as a real life person to explain to them step by step and explain to them. Some people they don't have the time, for example, to enter the simulator on their own pace. So they need to be in a certain location and a certain training environment in order to learn. So this is different types of mentalities.
And different types of learning as well. Some people work
Definitely.
well with going through a simulator and looking at the instructions. For other people, that does not work. They need to have someone explaining them the steps and having the time to repeat and all that. So
Exactly.
and with an in-person training, you have the opportunity to ask questions and have your questions answered right there. And then later, when you try to apply what you've learned, then depending on what the agreement was, maybe the instructor will be available, maybe not. Most of the times, the instructor will not be available. So this resource can be quite helpful because you have a place
Virtual instructor.
where to find the information, or on and you know that it's organized and you can find it easily. So very interesting. So let's see. Cheryl is looking forward to explore. There was, I think,
The
another person
simulator.
before was saying, yeah, explore the simulator. Bill, I think he was saying before that he had registered. I'm not sure if it was Bill or someone else. Yeah, thank you, Bill. Always a pleasure.
For the people who will finish the lessons and they will get a certificate, please post it on LinkedIn. Mention me. I will reshare your content. I have around 10,000 people on LinkedIn. Also, I can help you find training if you are in the Arab area, or I can teach you my strategies to apply the same in your region or in your country.
Yeah, I think I mean, you gave us everything. I mean, you gave us the simulator, you gave us the training materials, which is one of the most difficult and time-consuming portions of putting together a training content is to, okay, what am I going to teach? Okay, now I want to teach this, that, and that, but in which order? And okay, now let's prepare the materials. It's very time-consuming. I've been there, I know. So, I mean, although each person going through your materials will most likely do some adjustments. Maybe for example, the currency that I've noticed, maybe we will have to adjust that for our region. We may need to do some adjustments to, for example, one of the things I've gone through this process of trying. I once was in a project where I was hired to create a course, Excel course content based on a version that already existed in Spanish. And at first I thought, well, that's good. That's easy. I understand Spanish very well. I can just go and get the content, the files, and transform them, adapt them to English, and then create the content myself, record the lessons. But that's not as straightforward when you are using Excel files that were created in Excel in another language. There's a number of things that will not work. So you need to take the time to adapt those materials. Some of them, you may need to create them from scratch. You can get the inspiration on those materials, but you may need to create them from scratch on your language. For example, when the file has tables, in that case, the table names were coming as in tabla 1, tabla 2, and because it's in Spanish, and that would not work well for students in English. So I had to or rename all the tables or just create from scratch and have everything. So there's these little nuances, but come on. Mohammed already gave us all the lined up, all the outline of the course. So from there, it's a good starting point, and then you can adapt for anything else that you see works better for you as a trainer or for your students, depending on what they request from you.
By the way, this is what I always tell people. I tell them I really wish when I started learning Microsoft Excel 14 years before, I really wished at that time that there was a tool similar to the Microsoft Excel simulator that will take me step by step to teach everything in Excel. Yani I can imagine if it was available at that time, probably I would have done probably much more money or much more things in my life because it took me a good amount of time to really perfect Microsoft Excel. But now you have this tool, so what's your excuse?
The
So
only
trust me,
place, go ahead, sorry.
yes, I'm just saying that if there is still one thing that's keeping you away from learning Excel or being afraid of something, just write it in the comment or feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'm more than willing to help you.
I was going to say,
Can anyone hear me?
yeah, go ahead,
Yes.
Ron.
Hi, this is Ron Kaufman. I'm new to the group, and I don't know if there's any need for what I'm going to offer, so I'll just say it because I've spoken to Celia about it. That I've retired from Bell Labs, and I've been doing Excel VBA pro bono software development. Okay, for small businesses and nonprofits, and the basic concept, like everything else that you guys are doing, is people who are doing very tedious tasks, spending a lot of time doing, say, copy and paste or filtering, doing it all manually. It's not general at all. You need to use code basically to build a platform to do that. And if there's anyone on listening in who would like to meet with me, I could look at the tasks that they're doing and make recommendations about how you can improve it. And I will build a
We lost you. It's cutting, Ron.
Oh,
But
okay.
Ron has reached. You're back now. You can continue. We lost you for a little bit, Ron.
Okay, how far did I get?
Almost everything. So you were saying that people can reach out to you so that
Yeah,
you
they
can
can
recommend.
reach out to me. Unfortunately, Celia, I don't know why I cannot chat. I will give you my email. I'll say it. And Celia, you certainly have my handle. You know, if anyone wants it, they can contact you directly. But I'll
Yes.
say it right now. Okay, it's Kaufman 547 KAU F as in Frank MAN 547 at yahoo.com.
Yeah, and Ron, to explain what he's offering, Ron is retired and has worked with Excel for many years. And so he offers his knowledge to nonprofit organizations, pro bono work. So if you know any organization that may need some help, then we can reach out to Ron.
Yeah, it's also small businesses too. I work with them as well.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So, thank you. I think I had, I was going to say something, but I forgot what it was before. And I think I've seen, there was someone asking, how to access the lessons.
I already replied. I
Okay,
said
good,
on
good.
my website, trainermohammed.com, you just click on take full course, just log in, and that's it. You will be there.
Yes, and Grania, she's been putting the links there on, you also put the link there.
Mhm.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, any other questions or comments? Feel free to unmute. I think it's a very interesting project, Mohammed, disruptive for the training system. But at the same time, people who may be thinking, oh, okay, so now people won't pay for training because there's a free simulator. Mohammed already explained that both things can coexist because there's the need for both ways of learning. So some people like YouTube channels and YouTube videos, and so there's multiple ways to learn. There's always room for more people in the industry. The market is huge, so come forward and take advantage of what you learn.
Exactly. Not all people like to learn this in the same way.
Exactly. Grania, do you have anything to add?
No, I'm just watching the comments, and they're very positive reaction to your presentation. So thank you, Mohammed.
My
People
pleasure.
are really interested in getting their hands on it by the looks of it.
Jean-Paul is asking, what about Python, Office Script, VBA module training? Uh, as I told you, what I have created took me around 11 months of daily
Oh.
work from 6 a.m. until I don't know what time it is. So to create for Python, for Office, for VBA, that needs a huge team. So this is why, inshallah, in the future, I'm looking for investors or probably donators who are, since I'm doing everything for free. So people who may be willing to donate in order to hire some people and tell them to do the exact same simulator, but for other lessons, maybe for Power BI, for Microsoft Word, for whatever it is.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential there for sure.
Yes,
Okay.
quite interesting looking.
Thank you very much, Mohammed. It was great to have you here. And it was a pleasure to introduce that tool to people because somehow we have not been aware of it.
Exactly. So for all the people who are attending, who love the simulator, you can start from today and feel free to share it with everyone because it's a completely free tool. And get your certificates and post them on LinkedIn and tag me also, mention me.
Yeah, and everyone else, not everyone needs to be a trainer, become a trainer, or become a freelancer. If you know your Excel basics well, you will certainly do a difference in your work, at your work, in your daily job, your daily tasks. Those skills are well recognized. So there's different ways of taking advantage of creating very strong Excel skills, and that needs to start from the basics, and then from there
Exactly.
you evolve. Then from there
Because
you
this is
go ahead.
Sorry, because there is a little bit of delay between me and you, so I thought you stopped. Sorry. I was saying that from my experience, each person needs Excel, whether you are a salesperson, whether you are marketing, whether you are HR. Each of these people, they really require Excel. And from what I see every day in my job, I get trainees from different fields or from different departments.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yes, it's a fundamental skill to have in any job. Okay, thank you so much. If there aren't any more questions, we can end our session here. Do you want to, well, I was going to tell you to share where people can find you, but we already put that in the chat on LinkedIn.
LinkedIn, we can put them again.
Yes, on LinkedIn. And then this will also be available on the email that we will send. It will be available on the video description when the recording is available, so people can easily find you and find the website. Okay, thank you everyone for joining us today. We will be back again in April to learn about how to build interactive dashboards. There will be a lot of fun stuff there because we will be using Microsoft 365 tools, including the new dynamic array functions. So if you are interested, join us then. The session is up already. You can register. I'm going to stop the recording.